channel. My name is Matthew.
My name is Emmanuel.
And I'm Victor. I'm sorry.
And this is Construction Talk with the Lads. So, gentlemen, today we want to talk about something that we've been thinking for this past week, and that's on construction ethics, professionalism, and what you expect from a professional who's in construction. And the reason why we want to talk about this is there's been so much happening within the industry of late. I think we saw a couple of, I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, as of the time of the recording, there was buildings that collapsed on 2 consecutive days, within Kiambu, and there were so many questions that were asked. Was it the contractor? Was it the material? The stones, were they too heavy, or what was the issue? And in all honesty, it could be a series of problems, one leading to the other. But we also thought maybe it's time we question the ethics of these professionals who are working, because before we did this recording, I was telling you guys, there's no way Easy Mawa is in a Gilletta site.
Yeah, true.
All the way from the quarry. It's GK. Someone had to be involved. Yeah, someone had to make that call. Someone had to drive that truck and bring them. Someone had to put those stones on that site. So,
And ultimately, the decision to use those stones.
exactly. So it's an issue of professionalism. Yeah, and what standards do Kenyan professionals in the construction industry have? Yeah. Well, of course, everyone is different, but what is expected of a construction project manager, especially because that's what we mainly deal with?
Yeah.
Victor, according to you, as a professional, what do you expect from a construction project manager?
First of all, thank you, Matthew. Just sips water. 2 quotes for the start.
Okay.
If you don't stand for anything, then you are susceptible to everything. The second one, you cannot pickpocket a naked man.
Lord have mercy. Okay, that's a good one.
So which one is more captivating?
Well, I'm not interested in naked men, but you can tell us, you can elaborate.
Yeah. So first of all, we must agree that this industry, the construction space, is deficient of morals, ethics, code of conduct. There is a vacuum. There is a lacuna.
Okay, good. Yeah, true.
That is, you can see from the buildings collapsing, from the substandard materials used, from the professionals bowing to the pressure of the clients. Everything points out to this. You can see even people are being sold properties which are not yet established.
True. That's
So first we must acknowledge that in construction, matters dealing with ethics, morals, we just put aside. It should not be the case, but it is. Kwa ground ni kumoto mazi.
Build any bad man.
But there is a remedy. There is a remedy. That's the best thing about our country. There is a remedy.
What's the solution?
There's always the rule of law. Like, before you make any purchase, before you engage in any form of commitment with a professional, there's the rule of law that we must be aware of. Ignorance is what kills us the most. So that is the first remedy, just before we talk about anything regarding ethics. Coming to professional ethics, we must link this to personal ethics.
So starts with that.
It starts with you. Now here is the problem, because you cannot control everybody. That is for a fact. And also on the point of construction being a moral deficient practice, we can say we don't have the morals to benchmark with. Yeah, whose moral will we say that we are benchmarking with Mutero's morals?
Of course.
At you, of course. My G.
Can try.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
I try.
you try.
I try.
So we must accept that professional ethics is directly linked to personal ethics.
Mm.
So it starts with you.
Yeah, as an mimi.
Yeah.
It's good that you've talked about the rule of law as a remedy. Now the problem is enforcing these rules. See, that's where the problem comes in. And one of the reasons that has led to this is that what the challenges we face in our country, mostly it's corruption. That even I heard that nowadays people are buying the NCA contracts or whatever.
Yeah.
So according due to the rates of corruption and the bribery happening in the industry, and maybe mostly to do with the regulating authorities, you get that buildings that are not structurally fit, they're being approved to be built. There's also some use of substandard materials.
Yeah.
It's also among the causes which eventually leads to what we are seeing, the buildings collapsing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but I must take you back to the fact that we as a people are very ignorant. We are very ignorant. Yeah. Maybe let me give you a case study.
Okay.
Do you know that before we put up a building, there's public participation.
Yeah.
There's public. It means you have the power to stop this building as a person.
Yeah.
You can say no, this will affect the environment in this way. Put up your case, put up your arguments. Then if it holds water, this building will not be put up. But we have stooped so low that we are ready. We are just ready to say that there's this much. I will not go anywhere if I'm alone. Or maybe we don't even know those laws.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that when you start seeing the effects is when we start lamenting. That's not the right time. Yeah. So I think ethical issues, they are only dealt with through treating ignorance. And this ignorance has been affecting us since, let me give you a recap.
Tell us.
Yeah? Jomo Kenyatta, the first president
Okay.
of Kenya. It's
Right.
3 generations since we became an independent country. 3 generations, but we are still fighting ignorance. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see how deep this thing is rooted.
It is.
That is my take.
But yeah, I think what I wanna do, or what I wanna say is actually it's close to what he said about the rules could be there, but how are they enforced? Yeah, because if you guys remember, we were taught this as a unit, and we were told, yeah, you could have those rules, you could have all those acts, stipulating what needs to be done, yeah, and failure to that, there are consequences. You can face the full force of the law and such alike. But think about it, how many cases have we had of developers, forget even the construction stage, developers saying we have this magnificent gated community we are doing, and it's 80% sold out, or maybe they even say construction process is 30% complete, something like that. Yeah, and they'll put it at a billboard in Thika Road where you can't miss.
Yeah.
So and they get away with it because they'll be taken to court, but it's like it's not that serious.
I entirely agree with you. I entirely agree with you. But it's because we have given them the power. What you're saying actually, it has happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's this time I went to purchase a property. Oh my god.
Wow.
In Nairobi West.
Well, what are you doing with your life?
No, I never went like to purchase.
Okay.
Nienda to test the waters. Kushtua umaskini Matthew. Kushtua umaskini. Wewe sasa unakaa huku.
Amen.
Hata you've not bought a property. So me, I was given the agreement. So I was to pay 25%
Okay.
of the sale price.
Yeah.
Then complete with the rest within 6 months. Yeah, the property is just it was in the contract. It was saying that it is to be finished in the agreement, in the sale agreement. It was to be finished in July. So I'm waiting.
What month is this?
We are in March. We're in May.
May. Okay.
But it's not yet done.
Yeah.
So ningegongo. Unaelewa? But luckily I didn't have the money, so
So you usually see the building. Where is the building right now?
yeah.
What's the progress?
Bado. Hata there's no rendering. The plaster. Hakuna. They just have the house, the studio to check the showroom.
The showroom. Maybe they were caught in their lie.
So Matthew, let me tell you an example. When this Langata primary incident occurred, there was somebody who wanted to grab this.
Yeah.
It is wrong.
Yeah.
This person, let's say he had money. In any instance, he could corrupt the morals and the ethical conduct of these the litigants, the judges, everyone.
Yeah.
He could corrupt.
Yeah.
But today the land still is there for Langata primary. Because we as a nation came together in saying that we know our powers. Yeah. And it's sovereign. Our power is sovereign. It's written in the law. You cannot take public land. This is
Public land.
yeah. The same applies in construction. Yeah. If let's say if there's a development here in Nairobi West, or maybe in Langata, or maybe in South B.
Yeah.
If this development is coming up, maybe they've done the groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And we as a people come together and say that okay, we want the NEMA report showing how this will affect the environment, showing how you will mitigate this, then you can proceed with this. Yeah. These people will be tensed. Even these developers that you're calling rogue, they cannot continue with the nini. Yeah. Developers are not regulated in Kenya.
Yeah.
This you must understand. So a developer can collapse a house, go change his name, then continue developing.
Yeah.
We've seen this happen.
A lot.
But if we know what it takes, what power we have as at now, then these matters regarding professional ethics, I think we should not be talking about. Yeah? Because we as a people, we've been given this mandate by the constitution, the acts, the bills, everything.
Okay.
It sits with us. It sits with you, man. It sits with you, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
You can go and stop a development. And another example,
Okay.
This Karen households.
The Karen Gata.
Karingata.
Karen
Gata.
Yeah.
Karingata.
Oh, karibu inipite my G's. Anyway, these people can tell you will not develop here a 12-story apartment, and you will not develop it.
You won't.
How comes they are more equal than us? How is it that they are more professional than us?
Yeah.
Now
It's like more of they have that wako na hiyo unity.
Unity muhimu.
No, they understand what they want as a community, and it's everybody has their piece of land.
Yes.
And so I want to do my business. I don't want someone who has a high riser that's going to be overlooking at what I'm doing.
Yeah. So if we can acknowledge that actually our rights are enshrined. Actually professional ethics are enshrined. Then I don't think there's any developer who's rogue enough that would try to get into our sovereign right. No.
And
That one,
they'll have problems.
they'll have problems.
Because you come on site, maybe let's say you do some excavation work, and then the next day you find labda kuna watu walikuja wakarudisha mchanga hapo ndani. It's what I like about us as Kenyans, you know, it's a power we have, which is good. And I think he has used a very good example, but forget even the formal one, even informally. Like, yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, but did you look at how United, what are they named? Watu wako kwa streets wakinini?
Protest.
Is it protest?
Wagani,
Yeah, like when Raila stage demonstrators
call him Baba.
fine Baba, because you know I'm trying to say protesters, but the one that's coming to my head is Protestants. That's like a church.
Lord have mercy.
So yeah, demonstrators. Well, maybe some of the activities they were doing were uncouth, but think about it, the way they were
In solidarity. Yeah.
Togetherness. Yeah. Again, couple of weeks back, as of the time of the recording, there was I think I saw it over the news in Ruiru, where residents complain. I don't know whether it was the fact that, I think the issue was the building. There were cracks that were observed in the fifth floor.
Oh yeah.
You've seen that one.
I've seen.
Yeah. But now there was this
The county engineer.
He said
It's very
it's
safe.
very safe. Yeah. Now I don't know how safe. County engineer, maybe you could explain to us in the comment section.
And every engineer watching us.
And every engineer, do you really think it's safe to have cracks on the wall, or how much of a concern should cracks be?
On the slab actually.
But,
it was on the wall. I know walls are more of load bearing. Non-load bearing. So you'd think, because that was his argument, the person speaking on the news, that the structural part of the building, the structural element consists of the beams and columns, as well as the slab. So on the walls, it could mean an issue in the wall, and that's okay. Yeah, but the lesson learned here is the tenants came in unison and said this is unsafe. Yeah, this is unsafe. We've had that even in different places where you say, no, look, this is unsafe for us and we're going to leave, we are going to vacate. So it could be summarized, that indeed, as citizens of the country, of the Republic of Kenya, we have a right to speak out. Let's speak for what is right. Kama ni kuona, maybe let's say even because there was a time for my attachment, I used to work. I was attached at industrial area, and it's close to Mukuru kwa Jenga. And I see lorries, because that definitely come from construction site. They would come and dump the excavated material on the river bank. Now notice that river that's passing there. There's that waste material from site, and then there's also rubbish being dumped there. So it was a very chaotic scene. And in my head, I'd ask myself, maybe if to these people, they have more pressing issues in their life at a personal level. Like, you're more concerned on what you're going to eat than being concerned on someone dumping soil waste near your area. So it's a lot to consider, but at the end of the day, what Victor is saying is right, that we as citizens of the country need to come together and say this is wrong. Yeah, the professionals themselves, we have code of conduct. I think various associations have that. One of the best professional bodies, if I may, that has that in good standing is LSK. That's the Law Society of Kenya. Yeah, they have done it well, and I think even for construction, we can borrow a leaf from their book. That from their tree. I think the book here is also of less. Yeah, there's a book. There's a borrow a leaf from your book. Check. Check.
Content.
And, you could be the man from the West, but I'm not so bad in English either.
Itagogolo.
But yeah, we understand that, because how many cases have we had buildings collapsing and no engineer was said to have been dismissed by the Engineers Board of Kenya, or even the IEK, Engineers Institute of Engineers of Kenya? None of them said a thing. Project managers the same. AEK, best of my knowledge. In fact, the only thing I've seen close to that is of another professional, not even the professional body. Another professional whose identity I may not disclose comes to social media and say, this architect was involved here. Why is action not being taken? So now that should not be. I mean, the professional body should now kind of reinforce its members. Say, yes, he's a member, and we can confirm to you he's been dismissed, and stern action taken or something. Yeah, maybe they do it behind the scenes, but I question myself as a thought. Yeah. It could be even in internal memos or what, or newspaper ads. But if you want to give the public confidence that for sure what you're doing is right, and you acknowledge that not all your members get it right, and when they get it wrong, we take action. So for you to give that authority, then you need to show us, because I mean, you can't do a project without having the drawings approved by county government. Yeah, and for you to have for you to take a drawing to the county government, it has to have the signature and stamp of a registered architect. So you can tell who registered this architect, Borax or whichever body. Go back to them and ask. So this drawing was signed by architect Kenodia, for instance. Registration number, blah blah blah. Wako wapi? Tell us where to find him. Name and address, give us. So that now we can follow up with architect Kenodia and ask him, you are the one whose signature and stamp exist on this drawing. So care to tell us more? That's one. Because you see, even the county government has an issue.
Yeah.
How did it pass from architect to county government?
Actually, on the same point, I think it's Kilimani. They've had an issue with the recent developments. You know, it's now becoming
it's a high-rising slum. Sorry to say, watu wa Kilimani hatuna ubaya.
Anasema ni slum imeomoka.
That's one way of looking at it.
Not my words.
Not our words.
Okay. So, the complaint is, these drawings have been approved by the county.
Exactly.
Yeah? Residents have reported to the county government, but no action is being taken.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, now we are going to sue them. As a people.
Sue the county government.
Sue the developers.
Okay. Okay.
Because we can.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is what I was trying to say. Let's fight the ignorance.
Yeah.
Let's be well versed with this industry. Even as a client, please. This is where you are putting your money.
Yeah, your whole lifetime savings.
Yeah. There's this guy who told me, most families in Kenya only get one chance to build a home. One chance. Yani, in 70 years, one chance, one home.
One shot.
One shot, man. If you can't do it right, please don't stress that family.
Rent. Hakuna rent mambo uende.
Matthew, you talked about unregistered consultants engaging in projects. So, will it be a remedy that whenever a client wants to engage with let's say an architect, should carry out like some due diligence to know that whoever you're engaging with is qualified and you're not working with quacks?
Absolutely.
Will that help the problem?
Absolutely, which is a very good point. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, nowadays we are living in the times where registered professionals, you can get their names, maybe like for architects and even Association of Construction Managers of Kenya. Both individuals and companies, you can just do a Google search, click on the website of the professional body, check on the members list if that name appears. It may not be full guarantee that they'll give you the best, but it's an assurance somebody somewhere approves of their the state of being a professional. That yes, he is a member of AK, he's a member of ACMK, he's a member of IQSK, IEK for the engineers. So that is a first step. And then from there you can proceed to do more search on what kind of projects have they done before. Because guys, we are telling you, as Victor has said, for most of us or for most of Kenyans, you only have one shot to get your dream home. So why, or maybe that one time lifetime investment. So why do you want to get it wrong by investing in the wrong people, all in the name of saving, all in the name of I know a guy who knows a guy. Because look, and you see, like we said earlier, ethics starts at a personal level. The topic could have been on professional ethics, but you as a client also, some of the decisions are made by you. So when I come to you as a project manager, Kaiser or Victor, and they say, based on how we understand project management, this route that you're planning to take will cost you, say, just as an example, say $500,000, but you feel you can get it done with almost half the price, like 260,000. So you opt for that person. Now, from where we stand, that's okay. I mean, the whole idea of projects is trying to do it the best way with as minimal expense as possible.
But maintaining the quality.
So that's why we will just give our professional advice and say, look, okay, you want to try someone else, that's fine. But for me, the way I stand and the way I understand how this normally works is you will need this amount of money, and so if you're not willing to pay, I'm afraid we cannot conduct this business. So from there, and this is also an advice to professionals. Number one, it's also good to have documentation of every form of communication you have, such that if I disagree, let's say maybe we are doing, just as an example, we are doing some type of reinforcement. I've consulted the engineers and they have said, for this particular reinforcement we need the D12 size. But you want to kind of save and use the D10. Now, if for sure you still want to go for the D10, and I as a project manager, I'm not for that, you can actually put it down on paper that this is the decision you've made, but I do not subscribe to it. And to some degree, you may even opt out of the project. It's an option. So, sorry, when it comes to a point where, God forbid, the building collapses, and people saw Victor Musari
Riswa.
project management. Wapi huyu mjamaa? Wapi huyu? You'll have that sufficient evidence.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tried my best to tell these people it won't work.
Here are the documentation.
And this is proof that I did.
Yeah.
So documentation is very important in construction industry.
Yeah.
You think so?
It's important you've mentioned that as a professional engaging in a contract, whenever maybe the client is not ready to meet the requirements, let's say reducing like the bars, it's good you get yourself out of the project, not continue engaging it. But also, I also like to urge the professionals, whenever you are engaging with a client and you notice that you don't have the capacity to undertake the project, it's also good to be clear with the client and say that hapa siwezi, although they say there's this common that usiachilie pesa.
Yeah.
Especially in economy, there's a notion that even if you're given some work, just go on with it.
Yeah.
You'll find a way.
You find
hapo
a way.
katikati, but it's you should uphold your ethics. It's ethical to be clear to the client that this work, it's beyond me, instead of undertaking the work and the results and later the results of the buildings are collapsing. Yeah.
So gentlemen, as we come to a conclusion, maybe we could just give some parting shots as to what we think about construction industry, professionalism, and what generally we think can be done right in order to make it better, because we still have a long way to go. Victor,
I'm going first.
you are.
Fast. Let me be clear on this.
Okay.
Honesty,
Trustworthiness.
and respect. Yeah.
Honesty, trustworthiness, respect. Okay.
These are the most lucrative and most expensive assets that any consultant can have.
Mm-hmm.
Consultants can kill for this.
Okay.
I'm telling you for free. Because you can't buy this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? For you to get this, we must uphold the integrity in conducting our businesses in a professional manner.
Mm-hmm.
Then, to the clients and to the nation at large, ignorance is our number one enemy. It is not the
Cuts across, not just in construction.
it is not the collapse of buildings. Yeah, it is not the crook developers, not even these conmen who sell you land which is non-existent. Those are not our enemies. It is ignorance. Let us be well versed with our laws. Let us know that an architect, this is what an architect should do. When I bring you on board as an architect, this is what you should do. You should accomplish during this duration. In the execution of this project.
Yeah.
We should know it. It will save us from this menace of maybe collapsing buildings, loss of money.
Yeah.
We only got one chance.
Only one.
For the vast majority.
Yeah.
We only got one chance. If you get this one chance, then let us do it right. Also, professionals, the masses, I need us to hold professionals accountable. They owe us a duty to care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Parting shot. Naongea mingi.
Wacha tu. Okay.
Also, just urge all the professionals to uphold professionalism and be ethical in their doings. Yeah.
So for me, don't want to repeat what the lads have said, but it's actually more on communication, just like what I was talking about, the documents, the documentation, because what I mean is, when you're doing a project as a developer, there are maybe reasons for sure that you encounter a problem, maybe like an emergency in your family so you have to divert the funds, maybe if it's a hospital
Yeah,
bill or something. But now if you don't tell that to the contractor or to the consultants, how are they supposed to know? Yeah, because the contractor does his job, and then he writes a letter to the architect, and then the QS is supposed to do the valuation. And then if it's agreed upon, certificate of payment, or what is it normally called?
After valuation.
Yeah.
See, the valuation, you first write the
There's a
valuation
is it
certificate.
Yeah.
You send it to the architect,
Mhm.
then to the client,
Yeah.
a copy to the client,
Uh-huh.
then payment is processed. After being paid, then the certificate of payment is out.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. So that process, yeah. So if there's a loophole, maybe in the side of the client, it's good practice even for the client, because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
As a professional, you talked about the duty to care, yeah, and you as the client, you have your duty to do your responsibilities, yeah. So if there's a concern with payments, it can all be written down in paper, and from there you can now sit down and have a civilized conversation on what can be done. You know, because we don't negate the fact that things can happen. Yeah, in fact, what we've learned so far from our mentorship program is, when you're as a project manager, when you're planning for a project, plan as if something is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Plan for it as if something is going to go wrong, because
anything that can go wrong,
anything that can go wrong must and will go wrong.
Murphy's Law.
so but the basis of it, is communication, proper documentation, because this is something that you can prove, that indeed something went wrong on my side. Let's have a meeting and discuss how we can go around that. So tell us what you think about professionalism. It could be in construction, it could be in your own field of practice. What are some of the challenges that you faced? What are the solutions you can offer? And in general, should we, because guys, remember I talked about whips. Like we should whip any contractors who are rogue and developers. Tell us whether you think whips can work, because some dictatorships, some decree works. I mean, think about it. Why are you so disciplined right now? Because your parents want to do. And on that note, shout out to our parents. Thank you so much. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is a wrap. Thank you so much.
Adios.
Alright, cheers.
Hold my beer.
You want to hold my beer? This is water.
Matthew amesema ati